Hello. Hello. Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. I'm Christine. I'm glad you're here. Welcome to a leadership advice video. Today I'm going to react to a representative within the company Modern Nature, Monat, who is on her social media, on her Instagram, to give us advice about leadership. You might ask yourself, well, what is her qualification to be a leader? And the answer is she was able to recruit a good amount of people. And that's really it. That is how you're being considered a leader in a multi-level marketing company, and apparently for Monat and for her, that is good enough. You do not need to have any credentials whatsoever to be considered a leader, actually leading, guiding, or managing people through a regular workday. Nope, you were able to recruit a lot of people, and that is why you're considered a leader and are on your social media giving leadership advice. If you like these types of videos, please consider subscribing. If you like this specific video, maybe give it a thumbs up. And if you would like to let me know something, please feel free to do so in the comment section below. It's a Monat wrap, so let me get my frizzy hair out front. Let's get into the Monat leadership advice from an SED.
Cancun recap. Okay, I'm going to share with you guys some of the lessons that I took away from my 6th leadership summit. I can't wait to jump into this. I hope this encourages you guys. If any of you are looking to improve your leadership or become a leader, we're going to talk about what it takes to become a legacy leader, okay? Because that's how the trip started for me. The first day was on legacy leadership. I have my tea, by the way, because as with every trip, I lose my voice, right? We're screaming, we're yelling, we're in the sun, we're dancing, we're cheering everybody on, and I have no voice. So I've got my tea, my throat coat, and we're going to power through this. And I'm not going to rush it because there's some really good things here, okay, that I want you guys to think about and to share. Share with other people, you guys.
Oh, don't you worry. I will share this with other people. So she was at a leadership retreat. Monat definitely supports these weird claims. And I cannot wait to learn what a legacy leadership is like.
Who don't know, right? And who don't kind of understand leadership in general or don't have what I'm about to share with you now. Okay, so let's get into this. We so missed you, Kat. We missed so many of you who were not there. Let me start with this. We started the first day, you guys. They took the top leaders, and I'm going to be real honest with you. There was 28 top leaders in the room on the very first day, and I was there, and I really honestly did not deserve to be there. Let's just start with that, okay? I did not deserve to be there. And I'm being serious. I'm not trying to be like, woe is me, like I'm not a good leader. I'm just saying, as far as numbers and what I put out versus what these other men and ladies put out all the time, I was like, why am I in this room, right? Like, this is what am I doing here? But it goes to show, and I'll talk about this in a minute, that every piece of who you are and how you lead is important to the big picture. You are a puzzle piece to completing the big picture of the puzzle, okay? And that's how you need to look at your leadership. You have different gifts and talents than your sidelines, your uplines, your coworkers, your team. And something I value so much about Monat is that they have taught me to fully embrace that. And they teach us to fully embrace the gifts and talents we have and lean on the other people who are doing the areas that we're not good at very well, right? And so that was the point of the first day, was to say, you're all valued, you're all so different, you all bring something different to the table, and it literally just humbled me and made me honestly cry.
If you are ever invited to an actual leadership retreat and it makes you cry, maybe you should consider maybe you're in a cult. Learning that everybody is valid and everybody is important is an important lesson, whether you're considered a leader or not, but Monat and MLMs in general, they do push this to a culty level. What I assume she's talking about here is that she felt kind of misplaced at this leadership trip because she is not making as much money as other people in Monat do. I do not know who this leadership retreat or this leadership trip was for specifically. Maybe just for the SEDs, the senior executive directors, maybe for all 3 director ranks. I haven't looked it up, but that's also not the point here. If we take a look at Monat's income disclosure statement, we see that the ranks vary when it comes to their income. And SEDs, on average, gross median earnings make over $1 million in a year. I will link the income disclosure statement down below as well. But that is what the median of the people do at that rank. That doesn't mean that there cannot be a certain range. So depending on how big your team is, how culty your team is, and how much the people purchase and sell, your income can vary at that rank. And some of the people were able to make $3 million in a year while at the SED level, and others were able to make some $50 or $60 or $90,000, which is still a lot of money. How do I know that? Because at some point, Monat's backend kind of was available on Google for a good amount of time. And some people were able to grab the information there, and it showed very clearly how much people are making. And this person might be at the SED level, but she is not one of the people that make millions and millions and millions. When it comes to the SEDs, she is somebody who makes a lot less. She's still making a lot of money, but not compared to what the others might make. That is what I think she's insinuating here. In addition to that, she also says we learned how to lean on each other, because I have a certain talent that you don't have, but you have a certain talent that I don't have. That in itself might be interesting. I don't disagree with that either. Yes, exchange information with people if you manage people, or whatever you do in whatever job, in whatever field you're active. It is always good to look around and to talk to people and to learn from them. But when she says I'm leaning on people, she really means it. Because if you are in a multi-level marketing company, you cannot do this on your own. If you are at the top ranks, if you're considered a leader, you must have recruited a lot of people. So you are literally leaning on people. And if those people walk away, you will fall. That is reality in MLMs.
Because I'm like, okay, this is the way it's meant to be, right? A puzzle is not complete even if one piece is missing. The puzzle's not complete, right? It sucks when you get to the end of the puzzle and you're like, where's that missing piece? You can't get a full, complete picture without every piece being a part. So there's my first little tidbit for you is embrace how you're leading. Get better, grow, but lean on the other people. And this is something that sets Monat apart, because in my industry and in a lot of corporate settings, I've worked for Fortune 500 companies, you guys, they do not lean on their sidelines and the people around them, their competitors, so to speak, for anything. It's always about, let me get ahead, let me show how I'm the best and my team's the best, and we're just gonna go and like everybody else just watch us go. That is not how it is. And we wouldn't be where we are. We wouldn't be 4 years running best place to work in direct sales if we did not utilize the strengths of our sidelines, you guys. And I've never seen anything like it. It is probably one of the greatest things that other CEOs and other executives and other companies say they love about Monat, is how the culture is like this, and we lean on each other and we don't see each other as competitors, but rather as, hey, you are the missing puzzle piece to completing the big picture of where we're all going. I need you. I need your strengths where I'm weak, right? So, so good, you guys. That was the first day. It was fabulous.
Monat is like this. It's rather like this. Monat is cutthroat. This is a pile of poo-poo. If you are at a normal job, if you're considered a leader and you go to some sort of workshop, if you're a manager, you can very well lean on other people. I've been sent in the past to a lot of workshops from my own company with people only within my very own company, and it's a very, very fruitful exchange. You can learn a lot, and you can also learn what you don't want to do, how you don't want to quote unquote lean. You can learn a lot of things also from people in other companies if it is an exchange outside of your own company. But Monat is not that thing. She might claim this here because she has probably a group of people where she's rather close within Monat, but Monat is a multi-level marketing company that is cutthroat. We have so many calls that expose that all the time with this fake positivity, because if you recruit your own competition, and if other leaders are your competition when it comes to team members, etc., you are in a very, very nasty business. So that in itself is already false. The other leaders are your competition. And especially in Monat, the atmosphere from what I have seen is super, super catty. I'm sorry, but that's a pile of poo. A pile of poo with Monat shampoo on top of it. It's still a pile of poo. And I don't necessarily think that that is exclusive for Monat. That is true for all multi-level marketing companies, because you do recruit your own competition. And when there are people in your company that have already built a team, they're your competition as well. So you're competing with those people for potential new members to join your team, for potential customers. But you're also competing for recognition within the company. But then you have to put on this smiley facade that everything is wonderful when other people are doing better than you. I don't believe that. Nope, not for a second.
So they started with this. They talked about how revenue never, oh, holy crap, I'm going to mess this up. I just did a reel on it. Revenue never grows faster than leadership. So guess what? If you want to make a lot of money, you might want to look at the places that are known for and have a legacy of an outstanding leadership. Anybody can get on any day long and say, my company's this, my company's that. Here's our pay plan. Look at all the money we can make. I made $5 million, all of the things, okay? Okay, but the proof is always in the pudding. So look at, is that company built on and founded on leadership? And always growing the next generation of leaders, because if not, guess what's going to happen in that company, whether it's in my industry or another, okay, in any organization, it's going to die because it's always focused on just the guy, the girl that signed up first, the people who got in at the right time, yada, yada, yada. And they're the ones that get the trips and earn the money and all that. That's not a long-term sustainable business. And that's what Monat is different with. You guys, the leadership here is unmatched. The type of training development we get on these trips, and the fact that we're partnered with John Maxwell, who I've had 3 years with, and I'm now in his PhD program. And it's an ongoing, let's keep bringing up the next generation. And that is extremely important when you're looking at a place where you can build, hear me out, a long-term sustainable business, not a flash in the pan success. You can surely do that in Monat. You can make a lot of money really fast here, more than pretty much probably anywhere else. We know that. But what's more important? A long-term sustainable business with true impact. And you have to look at the leadership culture of a company if that is something you're seeking out. Otherwise, you're going to get in and it's going to be all the things we know, right? A lot of talk, not a lot of action. Okay.
She's saying the quiet part out loud. MLMs are not sustainable. Monat is not sustainable. Monat is crumbling. Last year alone, allegedly tens of thousands of reps left the company. And it's not looking to fly. Not too long ago, I uploaded a video about Monat reunion, and it didn't look that flashy either. It looks like not a lot of people were able to attend this event or didn't attend this event, whether they were qualified for it or not. MLMs are not sustainable, and it doesn't matter what kind of leadership you try to build. You have to recruit a lot of people and then make sure that a certain amount of people in your downline hit certain ranks as well, so that you can rise in the ranks or that you can cement your rank at the top. And let's be very, very honest here. Monat is one of the most toxic companies I have seen so far when it comes to quote-unquote leadership. I mean, have you ever seen your sideline sisters? Oh, no. So if you take a look at Monat's leadership, that is not necessarily an incentive for me to join. Monat sucks, and Monat's leadership is not great either. One of the most toxic, catty, unprofessional people are at the top of that company, and they're considered leaders because they were able to recruit enough people. That's it. No leadership is necessary. And in my opinion, if you are in Monat or in MLMs in general, if you are of a certain personality, that will not be very much beneficial for you to actually grow your leadership qualities. And it won't be beneficial for the people on your team either, because you're in a cult. You're in a cult-like surrounding. So what is not being encouraged? Critique.
So we talked about our theme this year, you guys, for our company convention is lights, camera, action. And they asked us, what character are you going to be? Thinking about your leadership, what character do you want to be known for? Do you want to be the hero? Do you want to be the villain? Who do you want to be? Because good leaders are purposeful. And in a movie, when you're watching a movie character, how do you learn about that character? You watch their actions throughout the movie, right? You see how that character plays out. The same goes for you guys, if you're leading a team. How do you really know about a leader? How do you really know about a company? Is it by what they say and what they post all the time? No, it's by their actions. What the proof is in the pudding, right? Actions reveal character, not words. So be about it. Don't just say it. Be about it. Monat bees about it, right? They are about it. That is what sets them apart in the industry, is they can talk a lot, which is great, but they actually do the do.
No, they don't do the do. Monat is very flashy on the outside. That is also what the distributors want to portray, but in the end, it is just smoke and mirrors. There is not much substance behind that. Monat is just like every other MLM. The facade has to be pretty, reel the people in, then juice them like an orange or like a lemon. And when they don't have any more money to spend, or if they need to leave the company, then recruit the next best person. There is a lot of words happening here, but not really action.
And he said this, and I loved this. He said, are you a leader just around your team? Are you just a leader when you show up to your team? Or are you a leader even at the dinner table with your family? Are you a leader when you're around? How do you talk in your circles, in the neighborhood, with your friends, all of that? You guys, it's phenomenal, the character development that we get poured into. So good. Okay. So moving on from that, that was the first day, you guys. Then our new generation leaders came in. We got a lot of fun with them, you guys. We do, gosh, you guys. First of all, go watch everybody's stories and things. We have a resident DJ that travels with us, because if you don't have music, what are you even doing, right? I mean, come on. Let's be honest. We need some good vibes and some good music and we've got all the pieces. Nobody wants to go sit in a stuffy boardroom meeting no. We got the dance competitions going. We've got prizes you can win. We have contests that we play all throughout the week, you guys. People were doing all kinds of cool, fun stuff. So our new leaders came in, you guys, and then we got to hear from some of them. And let me just say this too, with what Stuart, our president, and our CEO was talking on, you guys. A legacy leader is someone who is consistent in how they lead through ups and downs. One thing you will see with Monat is their transparency in all of the years of our leadership. I've been here for 6 years, and we've had ups, major ups. We've had downs, just like everybody. We've gone through the season of the pandemic, all the things. And instead of just trying to sweep it under the rug and tell everybody, go hard and get out there and do that's not helping anybody. They go, listen, let's learn from this. Where did we maybe go wrong? What did we learn in that season? How can we get better? And they work with you on that, right? And they said a legacy leader is someone who's consistent in how they lead through ups and downs. What you do when times are tough in your business will show what kind of leader you truly are. Anybody can lead when things are going good and things are happy and the money's rolling in, and any company can thrive like that. But guess what happened in 2020? When everything stopped and our world stopped, companies didn't know how to recover from that. And we're seeing that now 3 years later, you guys. Guess what a lot of companies in my industry are doing? They're taking away from their reps. They're pulling back. They're looking at how they can cut areas and all. They're looking at how they can possibly maybe go retail. They're looking at, Monat is doing the complete opposite. Monat is saying we now more than ever, because we were so smart during that time to invest in our leaders and their character development and their resiliency and all of that, we now more than ever are going to pour more into that than we ever have before. More into the trips, more into the pay plan, more into our leadership development, because that's what sustained us. And that's what brought us through, you guys. When your leadership is tested in the tough times, you're gonna really see what you're made of, okay?
No, Monat is not thriving, first of all, because they're not. And they're not thriving because they invested in 2020 and now there's still progress. Monat is tanking. What is true is that Monat hasn't taken away from the incentive trips so far, because let's face it, who is going to be able to participate in these? Only the leaders, the ones that are making the money. You can still purchase tickets for the convention, etc. And other companies might need to restructure their compensation plan. Yes, We see that products are getting more pricey. If you look at It Works, for example, the reps are getting less and less, but they have to do more and more. And it is presented to them as the greatest thing since sliced bread. So yeah, it is true that Monat is not doing that. But Monat is not thriving because they have incentive trips or their scammy car program, in my opinion. I mean, I did an entire deep dive on the Monat Motor Club and why I believe it is not a great program to participate in it whatsoever. Monat is not thriving, and Monat was doing well in 2020, not because of great leaders, but because it was during the pandemic where there was this perfect storm when people were worried about their jobs, about their health, about their family, etc., and they were looking for an option. And people like this were preying on people's vulnerabilities. Now, with the pandemic dying down a lot stronger than before, or at least we're not speaking about it that prominently anymore, Monat, just like most MLMs, are tanking because there are more jobs available that you can do in a hybrid model or fully remote, where you have a lot of freedom that people like her who are in MLMs claim you only have if you join the industry. And did you see that discussed? Ooh, some companies do retail. Yes, some MLMs actually do that. And I think that they're testing on the one side, the retail side, and on the other side, the distributor side. What is making them more money? And then inevitably, they will close down the system that doesn't make them the most money. Monat is not special because they invested in leadership. Monat is just not able to keep up with whatever they were doing. Monat has a flash sale almost every weekend so that the distributors can purchase products so that Monat can stay afloat. Monat has introduced a sales program that you can rise in the ranks and that you can do a little bit here or there just by selling products. Apparently that is not important anymore. Monat has changed their VIP program so that people don't have to purchase their way in or out of this program because they're tanking when it comes to customers and reps. Monat is not great on leadership and Monat is not succeeding.
And how you come out on the other end is going to speak volumes. It's going to speak volumes about you as a leader and the company and the brand that you represent. Do you really believe what you say you believe about it, right? Are you growing?
And that's why Monat is not looking better than before. It's quite the opposite, because Monat's quote-unquote leaders, for the most part, are horrible.
People see all the guys and the girls who genuinely grew through that time and the ones who didn't, right? And so they're pushing more into that than ever before, you guys, because that's honestly what matters.
Monat leaders didn't grow genuinely during the pandemic. They were able to scam more people out of their hard-earned money in times when times were really, really rough. That is not you growing in leadership. That is you being deceptive and using other people's pain points for your own benefit. Yikes.
I absolutely loved it. Stuart always says this too. So good. Focus on your eulogy and not your resume. How do you want to be remembered when you're gone? This is, again, the kind of stuff that we're talking about. Impact, long-term impact, you guys. How do you want to be remembered as a leader, right? Hopefully not a flash in the pan success. Hopefully someone that started out maybe being naive, maybe knowing nothing, maybe being skeptical, but grew. Worked through tough times, stayed consistent and persistent, was resilient, right? Loved on their people, humbled themselves and said, I'm sorry I screwed up as your leader. I really messed that up. Let me help, let me get better. See, the only reason that I know these things and we're able to do these things is because we have the example from our corporate team down. Okay, it's the transparency of it all and the willingness to grow. Okay, who's on here? Yes.
You have the examples from your leadership? And that then trickles down? Isn't their president, Stuart, the one who had troll accounts? And he tried to go after anti-MLM creators, but he was not good enough to hide his traces? That is your leadership? Yeah, I do think that speaks volume. And I also think that that trickles down. Stuart is not a great example. I mean, not for her, but for us.
Oh my gosh, I'm so glad to see that. I'm telling you, so much impact. Okay, couple more things, you guys, and then we will be done. And I want you guys to ask questions and I want you guys to message me. Okay, so get this. Yes, oh my goodness. So here's where we're going this year. We are going to open a new country this year, and guess what? This new country that we're opening is one of the top countries in the entire world for direct sales. Another big thing to look at in a company before joining, do they have global impact? Are they tapped out? Or are they opening a new country, minimum a new country per year? Minimum. That's called long-term sustainable business, right? Look for the people who have a global footprint. So we're opening a new country very, very soon.
She's talking about France, okay? Monat launched in France, and with a normal company, I would agree. If you're able to extend whatever reach you have and the products you sell into other countries, into other territories, that is great. With Monat, I think it is different because Monat is really only available in not even 2 handful territories worldwide. And they launched in France this year. The market for Monat is saturated, and the basis for whatever Monat does is always the US business. And then they're building on that. US was saturated, launched in Canada, launched in the UK, launched in other European territories, launched in Australia, launched in New Zealand, and now we're moving on to France. I would disagree with the fact that this is smart leadership because you are in a multi-level marketing company and the market is saturated. You need to open up to other markets. Otherwise, your recruitment-based business is dying down because it turns into a closed system. When new people from the outside are not joining, but the people that were in the system are leaving, then the system is shrinking. Monat is not a sales-based company, so the same rules don't apply. It is a recruitment-based company.
So we're opening a new country very, very soon. We actually have 7 brand new products launching at our company convention in September in LA. You guys, if you joined our company right now, guess what? You have the opportunity to go on 2 trips. One to Miami, where our corporate headquarters is, and get a whole entire walkthrough of our corporate office and warehouse, okay? And the second one, out of the country to the Bahamas, where we're going for the 5th time. It's wild, guys, but you gotta jump in now because this is the time where what you want the rest of your year to look like, it starts right now. You can't go in November and go, gosh, I wish my Christmas looked different. I don't have money for Christmas, or it starts right now, guys. Okay, so if you want your year to end differently than it did last year, then you need to start now. And I'm just gonna wrap it all up in this.
What is it with multi-level marketing companies and allowing their employees, independently contracted, mind you, to tour their warehouses? Come on, give people something back with actual value. That is so weird. And for people in MLMs, it is such a flex. I've heard this so many times. No, it is not. Just pay your people and don't scam people out of their hard-earned money. That is what I would suggest. The Bahama trip she's talking about, that might sound attractive to people who want to go to the Bahamas, who love sunny weather, who love that area. Yes, it sounds great, but that is considered a leadership retreat. So who is able to earn that? You have to qualify for that. You cannot pay your way into this. Only the people with the biggest teams are able to go there. And that is, if we're talking about the director ranks, about 0.04% of people in the company. Yikes. Once again, income disclosure statement is linked down below if you want to take a closer look. The majority of people in Monat are not able to participate in this trip because they were not able to recruit enough people. If they're only leaders in a company that is a multi-level marketing company, the company would die. It would bleed out. It wouldn't work.
Most of us did not start out going, I'm just going to be a phenomenal leader and I'm going to lead thousands of women. Okay? Most of us were just like, I need to pay the car payment and I would love to pay my mortgage, right? And we started out with that, and Monat gives you every other tool you need. The only thing that we cannot give you and make you do is I cannot jump in your body and make you get over your fear, get over your doubts, get over your insecurities, and finally say yes. You have to do that. You have to do I'm finally ready to stop complaining and stop going, oh my gosh, all these guys and girls' lives look awesome. Oh my God. If all I do is get on here and share my story, my life with you, and it makes you just envious of my life, I'm not doing my job. I want it to encourage you. I want it to inspire you to see how much of a hot mess I really am, and all our team in the nicest way, and how we're just the normal average men and women who said, I really do want something different. I really do want, yes, the financial freedom, but these Monators are freaking different. They're just loving life, loving on each other. They are having impact. And I just wonder, that's all you need, you guys. And then we can do the rest. We can help you. We were sitting in the same boat. None of us grew up thinking we're going to do this. All of us came from corporate backgrounds. We've got doctors, we've got nurses, we've got teachers, we've got lawyers, we've got stay-at-home moms that have never worked a job in their life. We've got every background you can imagine. They were just willing to finally stop watching everybody's stories and send the message saying, I want to know more. And they gave us all their objections and they gave us all their doubts and concerns. You guys are not going to scare me. I've heard everything under the sun. Trust me. You're not going to freak me out with what you say. I want to hear it all. I want you to come at me with every objection you have so that I can help validate it and let you know you're not alone. Okay? But this stuff, this character development, the way that I become a better mom, the way I become a better wife to my husband, the way my husband has become a better pastor from being in Monat trainings and what he's learned, you guys, it is unmatched. And it is for every single one of you. You don't need to know nothing about nothing. You just need to be able to raise your hand and say, tell me more. Here's my objections. And that's it. We will give you every other tool you need from there. Okay? I love you guys so much. That was Cancun. I hope I don't have to do another one of these lives with you sitting around waiting and watching. I hope you are on the next trip with me doing your own live recap. Love you guys.
And that is your typical MLM pitch that has to show up in some way, shape, or form. And also what I would consider people shaming, or if leaders are talking to their downline shaming. If you're not doing whatever you need to do, it is your fault that you're not succeeding, because when you join Monat and I will give you all of the tools that you need. I'm going to spill a secret here. Monat doesn't have any tools to give to you. This person doesn't have any tools to give to you. All you need to do to be successful in Monat is recruit enough people. And there are certain circumstances that make this easier, harder, or impossible for different types of people. In addition to that, we also have this typical rags to riches story. Monat poured into myself. I'm a better mom now. I'm a better person. I'm a better leader. I'm a better wife now to my husband. And even my husband is a better pastor now, because Monat's workshops where he was included were giving him so much as well. My life before the MLM was not great, and now it is awesome. Once you've seen those pitches, you've seen one, you've seen them all. It's very see-through and it is very transparent. So please don't fall for this crap. Monat doesn't have any tools to give you. You're there to spend money on product packs and then hopefully also spend money as you go along. And only very, very few people are able to utilize this, in my opinion, predatory system to their advantage, and they're able to rise in the ranks. If you were able to join early enough, when the market wasn't yet saturated, that is of advantage. You're outgoing, that is of advantage, because it is easier for you to reach out to other people. You're not in financial distress, then this is also easier for you, because you do not depend on the money coming in. So if you do not make money in a certain period of time, it won't necessarily wreck you. You already have a certain social media following, well then it is easier for you to reach out to other people as well. And if you can put your morals aside, or you can tell yourself that this is you sharing the light and opening up opportunities to other people, then you will also do potentially better than people who understand that this is a scammy business and you're preying on vulnerable people. So that's my conclusion on Monat. This was her Cancun recap leadership lessons. I might start my very own anti-MLM leadership lessons, not in Cancun, but probably in Potsdam or in Hamburg or Munich. We will see. I will let you know. You only have to wire me a lot of money so that I can speak nonsensical stuff. But I'm happy to welcome you at my anti-MLM leadership retreat in Potsdam. Yes, we're going to Potsdam. Yeah, that was interesting. What did you think of these leadership lessons? Are they realistic to you? You choke on them, as I do. What did you think about that? I would like to hear what you think about these leadership lessons that this person learned at a Monat retreat in Cancun. If you like these types of videos, please consider subscribing. If you like this specific video, please give it a thumbs up. If you would like to comment something, please feel free to do so in the comment section down below. And if you like these types of videos, then hopefully I will see you in my next one. Until then, tschüss!